I think personally, if you have a business, you just have a lot of accounts, you're a creator, you're maybe this could really help. So if you're actually in a marketing role, this is a quick gem for you guys. All right. If you're in a marketing role at any single company and you're not using this, next time you sit with your manager or whoever's a higher up, just bring it up to them. And maybe you have now a reason to get a pay raise for the next conversation talk, because
Look, hell of an intro. I tell you what you in for, but I never really been the type of dude to give no info.
welcome to the Walk and Grow podcast, everyone. It's Ronnie and Courtney on the mic. And today we're bringing you what we typically do every month. Don't forget, at the end of the month, it's the tool of the month. I don't know. I was thinking about this, Courtney, and I was like, man, maybe we might have to do some transition here and maybe provide like a tool of the week at the end of every episode. Yeah, so that's really going to put us on our behinds and really have some tools to really provide on a weekly basis. What's your thoughts on that?
We are always
True.
giving
Very
tools.
true.
Everything we
Okay,
talk
touche,
about is
touche.
a
All
tool,
right, you
one
got
way
me
or
there.
another.
Okay.
Well, no, at the end of 2023, we were talking about how some of the things that we just discussed, and like you'd brought up learning about boundaries and love languages, and not necessarily that it's everyone's favorite, but like, I don't know, some of the skills. I mean, we've shared. I mean, all the things that come to my brain are like therapy type things, just because those are the tools I use all the time. But we talked about a whole bunch of different things that you use, I
But
use, the
like, what
guests
if
have
we were to
used.
take it a step further
So,
and like, I don't know if you came across an app at all this week or something. Maybe it's not directly correlated. Maybe it is. I don't know. But like something where it's
mhm,
like kind of our conversation today, right? Where you come across something, you're like, hey, I could share this
yeah.
with you guys. You guys can use it how you please. Something to that magnitude. Because I definitely
Mhm,
agree. If we drop gems on a regular basis, whether
mhm,
I mean, you only know if you listen, or,
mhm.
um, but it's
It's true.
beyond that. I know that even the pie chart. Sometimes I forgot the
Mhm,
name of it. The one with
yeah.
yeah.
Lifestyle
But
balance pie.
like something like that would have been good. Why should we and how I look at it is
Yeah.
making someone wait an entire month to receive something to help them. That's where I kind of I was like maybe we should start doing this on a weekly basis. But I probably won't suggest that anymore until we get enough people saying yes, that'll be a good idea. So if you really want that, make sure to DM
Mhm.
us, email us, comment, do whatever you please to
Yeah.
reach out and let us know. We want more. Just like literally, you could say that. We want more, like a demand. You
Yeah.
remember those kids in when it was pizza?
Mhm. Yeah. When there's pizza. Yeah. But for real, like seeing engagement,
Yeah,
seeing that
that's
people are
real.
using the tools that we have put out there and that they've been helpful and stuff like that. Again, not that every single
Yeah.
tool is going to be for every single person, but just seeing that they, are in use and that they do want more. But that's Ronnie loves to talk all about like we could just do this and we're going to add this and we're going to have that. And then we talk about the actual logistics of it. We're like, phew, I don't
Well, I'm a man full of ideas, willing to
know.
trying to throw
Mhm.
things on and see which one sticks.
I am not. I'm not saying no. I'm all down for the adventure. I just
And that's the best
we'll see
thing,
how it
right? You
works
see
out.
how it works out. If it works out for you, great. If it
Yeah.
doesn't, all right, keep it pushing. This is exactly why the tool of the month is really cool because
Hmm.
now you have a new tool that you can implement. And if it's something that, again, sticks with you, you kind of like how it's working for you, then keep using it. If it's not, then just push it to the side and wait till we drop another tool. And then you can probably try that one out. I don't know. But I love trying things
Yeah.
because,
Or
what is anything that you first off, when you start anything, it's never going to be perfect, and also, when will you ever know it's
hmm
perfect? You won't until you try it. So that's why just throwing things on the wall, just allowing which one is going to stick. Like those,
hmm
I don't remember, like those frogs. I don't know. Back in the day, I used to have like sticky frogs. You throw it on the
hmm
wall.
It's funny because I was thinking the same thing, but they weren't frogs. And so in
Yeah,
my mind, I'm like a ball
the
or
hand
like
is a good one.
hands or something. So I wasn't expecting you to say frog. But yeah, we're both on the same page for sure.
But how are you doing today? So,
Um, Pretty good today. It's been really cold in Arizona. Just
mm,
if anybody was curious, it's been really cold in Arizona. Compared to how it's just like one week you're fine, and then the next week you're
yeah,
absolutely freezing, and you have to pack like 3 extra layers to go anywhere outside, and you just didn't expect it. But But yeah, things are good. Game day tomorrow. So exciting week, but and it's another 3 day weekend for yeah, we got MLK Day coming up, which of course will be kind of
Yeah.
long gone by the time this comes up, but before this comes out. But that's where we're at right now. So yeah,
It's good.
feeling good right now.
I'm good.
But how are you?
It's been really, I wouldn't say chaotic, but it's been a really productive, but a busy freaking week. Um, Working
Mm,
through trying to get a client a home, so it's been a lot of busy weekends. That's why when you asked me, have you thought about 100? Like, yeah, I've spent all this time in the car thinking about 100, and I just get closer and closer, and it's just like, this idea could work, this idea can't, but it's been a really,
mm-hmm,
really, really busy but productive week at the same time. So
mm-hmm,
today I'm kind of like who's in it and going into tomorrow because I
mm-hmm.
know Sunday I think I'm gonna have to go back out to go show homes so that we can see if we can find something.
Mm.
So that's kind of where I stand. Good, productive, but it's kind of like go ahead.
Do you? Sorry, let me cut you off. Just curiosity. Do you have like seasons
Oh yeah,
in real estate where it's like
yeah,
this is yeah, what seasons are you like what
yes,
super busy seasons versus like
yeah. So the
nobody's coming
spring and
out
the
versus
summer are
that type of thing.
typically the most chaotic, for various reasons. Well, you
Hmm.
got to think about it.
Just because
Well, most people don't want to move in the cold, and when it
people
is cold, or at least depending on where you
yeah,
are in the country, um,
where you're
you
at.
December, November, it's holidays. Barely anybody wants to move during those times.
Hmm.
If anything,
Mm-mm.
some people are just
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm gonna sit still. I'll wait till afterwards. But then you also have spring and summer, which is kids
Hmm.
are getting ready to get out of school. It's warmer, and then also let's
Hmm.
prepare to get the kids ready for the next following school year. So that is kind of what you see in the spring and
Hmm.
summer. But it kind of spring and summer is typically hot, and then it kind of drops off.
Hmm.
But I will say this past couple of years has been a
That makes
really
sense.
weird in terms of the seasons, just
Hmm.
because ever since 2020, everything has been out of whack, and everyone's just kind of moving whenever
Yeah.
they find a good opportunity.
Just
Yeah,
doing whenever they can. That makes sense. Yeah. Just curious. I think it's interesting how different professions and different things
hmm
are look different in terms of seasons and busy
yeah.
periods and stuff like that.
But
Just
to go
curious.
on to what we want to talk about today, we have one for those who are really big on social media. As you guys may know, I absolutely love social media, and I hope you are able to understand what I meant by that one. But this is one that I came across. I don't know when I came across it, but it's been a while. I've been sitting on this one, so I apologize in advance if this is really going to be beneficial to you, and I just haven't shared it with you just quite yet. Yeah, I know,
They've
right?
been gatekeeping this
But it
tool.
is an AI tool, I will say, to a certain extent. It's not like your Chat
Mm,
GPT or your Claude or Anthropic. It's not like any of that. It's more of just something to really guide and help you manage all your social media accounts. Because I don't know about you guys, but I have a lot of them, and I could only imagine how it looks just trying to plan, create, analyze what the heck is going on each and every single one. So this tool here is called Metricool, and it's a social media management platform. I think personally, if you have a business, you just have a lot of accounts, you're a creator, you're maybe this could really help. So if you're actually in a marketing role, this is a quick gem for you guys. All right, if you're in a marketing role at any single company and you're not using this, next time you sit with your manager or whoever's a higher up, just bring it up to them, and maybe you have now a reason to get a pay raise for the next conversation talk, because I'm pretty sure that conversation is going to be happening for many individuals really soon here. If I remember it correctly, those things happen in February, March, that's typically when those conversations happen. So if you are in that role, this could be something that you do
mm,
bring to the forefront. Like, hey, we should, consider using this to help us manage our day to day when it comes to social media, because that is your role directly. And so, to give you guys a little bit of more detail on terms of what it could be really used for. So, let's say you want to create content on this platform in itself. You can actually create it and distribute it all throughout. And it takes everything. I mean, I could share my screen. I'll do that a little bit later, but you can create, you can manage, you can analyze. Like I said, you can kind of plan it. So it's allowing you to really see what your likes look like. Is your followers going up or down? How many people are actually visiting the page? how many posts are you posting. It's everything that you need in one. And I love to be productive as much as possible and efficient. So this is one of those ways that I found to be the most efficient. Now, I will say there's a caveat to it all. You might not like this one. It is paid. I don't pay for it just quite yet, but if um if I
Dun, dun,
loved
dun.
it, if I love social media as much as I do, then I would. And it would
Mhm.
make a little bit more sense for me.
That doesn't
It
make
doesn't, but
sense.
for those that know, for those that
But
know,
I
they
know what you
know.
mean.
Um, but yeah, no, it does. It is a free
Mhm.
version. You could take advantage of the free version. You don't have to pay for it, but of course, if you do pay, it is going to come with a little bit of extra sauce to it that you can take advantage of. Maybe even have. I think the data aspect they kind of hold back a little bit more, and where that is probably what's going to be really restricted. Well, that is the tool of the month. I know it was a lot, really straightforward, and it enables people to really manage all social media accounts that you have, because I know everyone has a lot. I don't think there's only one thing that anybody has.
Mhm. Especially nowadays, there's just different like communication looks different
Yeah.
on everything, and the way that you use it, and everyone, everything has. I mean, of course, so that they can market it and sell it, but
Hmm.
everything has its own purpose or like goal that they're trying to
Yeah.
achieve. So, yeah, um, social media is interesting. I'm looking at it right now just to see like kind of how far I can
Mm.
get quickly, just just cause. Um, but yeah, I
Yeah.
wanna. I'd like to see your. I've never used like a social media
Hmm.
like management thing. I don't. I'm not. I'm just on social media to be on social media. I don't
Yeah.
really have any
Yeah.
goals. You know what I mean? Like I don't have anything specific that I'm looking for out there. So to me, it's like I can manage what I'm doing. I haven't sent a tweet in like 2 years. You know, like just things like that. Um, but yeah, just so it's just interesting to see. I guess my question, and not necessarily that you have to answer it, but just in looking at the app, is like for people across the spectrum. You mentioned someone in marketing as a profession, but across the spectrum of like people who like don't really use social media or use it sometimes or just use it for fun or use it they want to get better at it. So that's kind of where I'm at, right? I don't necessarily care about where like my personal things are, but I would love to grow ours. You know, I'd love to see different opportunities for ours. So like across the spectrum, what can
The
that
app and
do?
the Are you
I
saying like
guess.
how can it help the person that's yeah.
How
I
can
mean,
it
it's going to
help?
give you the information that you may need. So you'll know now what kind of, post works really well on your page. What kind of content is it that you should be
Mm-hmm.
putting out? Who are the people that are even visiting your page? I know Instagram does a great job at providing you that
Mm-hmm.
information. But let's just say you want it all in one place, right? It's going to share with you the demographics of a person. I could go ahead and just share my screen and just kind
Yeah,
of share some of that with you. But
I'd love that.
it's going to give you everything where you have that. So now you can kind of tailor all the information a little bit better and more to the person that you're trying to reach, which is going to be really helpful. If you're reaching the wrong person, then that means you're not going to have as much
Mm.
engagement. And if you don't have engagement, your post is not going to make it, or your reel, whatever the case may be, it won't make it as far as you would like it to. And so here on the left, you can see all of the accounts I at least have it associated with, right? And you can even take a look. So
Ronnie has a TikTok.
I do have a TikTok, but I don't have it clicked. You see how it's not here, right? There's a reason for that. I
One
mean,
day we're gonna
we'll
be on
see when that
TikTok.
time
People,
comes
I'm
and when it's
trying.
needed. Right now, look, you try to throw more things on our plate. You always
I'm
talk
just
about
gonna
me.
start it and not tell Ronnie about it quick.
Like, come on, now, how does that work?
I'm just gonna
Please.
post some
Anywho,
reels. Yeah.
here's how the page really works. Like I mentioned, demographics. You can see what posts. You can even maybe search for your competitors to see what they're really doing to kind of get a
Mm.
handle of what's going on. Um, and this is just specifically talking about my Facebook, but if I go to my Instagram, which of course is going to be a little bit more active, it primes it up as well. Very similar. Which wow, I guess it's not connected. Shame on me. Maybe we'll go back to Facebook because I don't see any information here.
Mhm.
But you can see at the top, it kind of like has everything up there. I don't use this as much as I
Yeah.
probably should because my focus isn't social media. Hence why I
Hmm.
love social
Which
media.
we've talked about.
But this
Hmm.
is the app and stuff. It's gonna be helpful for the person that is not even doesn't have a goal centric to it. I will say because, and the reason why I say that is if it's a hobby of yours and you're just trying to increase, you're trying to get better at your hobby or whatever the case may be. This could be an easy way. And again, you don't have to pay for this. Of course, I think if you're doing it for monetary gain, then you might want to look into paying for it a little bit because then you can kind of find it a little bit more rewarding. But for the most part, it's doesn't necessarily have to be something where you have to put money behind this. If it's a hobby, something you do for fun, and something for pleasure, then do the free one and see how it works out for you. Maybe it's or just get better at it. Whoever wants to get better at social media, I can care less. So
So for this one, if just use Instagram for example, it can if we post, I'm just creating this scenario. Post a reel, you post a photo, you post a story, whatever things like that. Can it give some information about which one got most engagement, or like can it break it down in that way in terms of
all
different
right,
types of
Courtney, you're gonna make
posts?
me share my screen
Or
again.
well, because it's
Yeah,
gonna be the timing of
no, I'll
it.
share my screen again because actually the Instagram actually popped up now. I guess it was just lagging. But to answer
Mhm.
your question, it
It's
does.
yeah, it's just a
Um,
little bit slow.
yeah.
So not because demographics are great, and I thought it was really interesting when you and I were looking at like where listeners are coming from and things like that. But in terms of actually growing, like what specific pieces do we really need to make this better? It's not. We don't necessarily need the demographics at that time. Does that make sense? But I feel like demographics has a different role.
Well, demographics is going to help you understand the person. So if you can understand the
Mm-hmm.
person better, you might understand their problems a little bit better, and then you can bring solutions to their problems. But here's to answer your question. If you were to post reels, then it shows you the engagement activity, the how it kind of went off. So you can kind of. I don't think it's going to show you. At least the version that I have, I don't think it's going to share with you the exact reel that you posted. But of course, it's dated here, so you kind of can see for in itself what reel
Mm-hmm.
was posted. You can see this is organic reactions that it kind of lists out for you, and it actually does
Okay.
give you the reels that you did post, which is helpful because then you
Mm-hmm.
can kind of see, all right, well, if this is how it performed, what must I do some more? And this is even talking about
Yeah.
stories. I know you mentioned posts. So if I scroll up to posts, it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna have too much here because again, I'm not very active on social media. So I probably should have
Mm-hmm.
been a little bit more active to be able to give you a little bit more information on how this works. And then I think the competitor is gonna be my favorite one simply because if you know what the other people are doing and what's working for them, then you know exactly what to copy.
Mm-hmm.
To a certain extent, right? Copy, but put your own cherry on top, your own flavor. But
Cool.
that's what I have for those that
Nice.
are on that social media journey. Now, if you want to talk about YouTube, now that's a whole different beast that I have for you guys. Now, this is where my bread and butter goes. But I'll say that for another day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
There's
no,
all the
you
numbers.
guys
Who's
saw a
hiding?
glimpse of it. Just know whatever you want to accomplish, you can accomplish it. Just be consistent at it, and I think that's the name of the game with social media
Mm-hmm.
is consistency because that
Mm-hmm.
I was able to really prove that analogy just in the past year and a half with YouTube.
Yeah. I think this is kind of a tool for everybody, though. I mean, like, even you just explaining what you've done on the site and you being able to see it and be like, I'm
Yeah.
going to do a little bit more. And me, like, listening as a listener and being
Hmm.
like, ooh, what's this tool? Because I didn't know it before today either. So, yeah, it's just kind of a tool of the month for everybody. And as probably everyone knows, like, marketing is not
Mm-mm. At
necessarily
all.
our strong suit. So if anybody else has other tools in this area, please share them with us, or tools or just feedback or just, any ideas, anything like that if you're in that area or just really enjoy the social media part of it. Um, I am. I mean, I guess Canva can be
Yeah,
its own tool of the
true.
month if we want it to be, but I am. My sister made fun of me recently for being such a Canva freak. I call it a Canva queen, but that's just me. But because that's kind of my go-to, but that's strictly creation. So, like I was saying before, everything has its own, its own goals and its own way of supporting and things like that. But anybody out there with any ideas, feedback, tools, tips, whatever, it's all welcome. Just because we came into this with a lot of passion, but not a lot of social media background. So,
Which is funny because and this is not the only platform that exists that probably does this. I will say that because I remember there's a few of them in the
yeah,
past that I've come across, but that was really for planning. It wasn't so much of all three, and I able to have many different profiles or accounts in one. Most of the ones that I
hmm,
used in the past, they were mainly for
that makes
planning
sense.
out my content. But whereas I don't know if those even actually were able to pull any analytics to be able to share with you a little bit more detail. But I'm sure there's plenty of other out there. At least now at this point, you know about another one. And if you know about this one, compare and
Hmm.
contrast. Find what works for you and run with it. I'm not, like Courtney mentioned, we're not marketing geniuses, nor do I desire to be one. So if you
Hmm.
are a marketing genius and you have feedback, feedback is always welcome. It's one of the things that allow us to thrive and be better. And we can't be better without knowing what's working, what's not working for you guys.
Yep,
Did you want to
sounds good
drop
to
your tour or
me.
you want to wait for the following week? Yeah.
Yeah, let's wait.
Okay.
It's a whole new thing. I think people had enough therapy for a minute,
Enough
so we'll
therapy.
give
Does
them
that
another
even
month.
exist?
We can focus on this.
Okay.
No. Some
That's
people
right.
think so. But I no, I think this is a good tool to kind of like we have the basis of it or we have like baseline what it can do to kind of just take some time and see what else and explore it ourselves. So I just want to kind of give people some time to explore
I
that
may
and
actually challenge
yeah,
myself
look
too.
into it.
And I'm saying this live right now because I think if I say it live and we can report
Hmm.
back, we can see how it worked out. Right? Maybe for the next 6 months or so, I'll
Yeah.
kind of be a little bit more consistent. Not just our personal, but of course, the walk and grow, and of
Hmm.
course, my personal. And that way, we can see
Yeah.
how is it actually working for all of my social media accounts, which is
Hmm.
going to be pretty chaotic. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, but that's why I said like seeing the baseline and seeing what we can do with it and kind of play around with it. And a lot of the tools of the month we have a little bit not that you don't I'm not saying you don't know how to use this, but I just mean a lot of the tools of the month like we've used it or we have just kind of like more of a grasp. I mean, all the things that I bring to
Yeah.
the table are because I use them so often, in my work and things like that. But this is something that we can grow and we can continue to
Yeah.
show and continue to check in on and has this helped us and what has this done for walk and grow, what has this done for your
I think you're
personal
saying a little too
social
much
media
now. I
and things
think you're
like
giving
that.
a little bit too much of what we can get into. See, you're throwing things on the wall.
I'm saying the
Don't
tool,
sell
I'm
the
trying to
tool. They're not
sell the
paying
tool.
us.
The
Get out of
tool
here.
could
They're
be
not paying
helpful. What's the
to
point
help
of a
other
tool
people.
of the
It's not to
month?
sell the
If
tool. Like
exa-
I'm kidding.
I'm just saying
Yeah, no,
we can
absolutely. I mean,
use it
that's
too. We can use it
that's
too
the
and
point
hope it helps
of.
us. We need this. We need the help. Is all I'm
It's like you're
saying.
crying for help right now. Don't
We can
cry for
see if
help.
it helps us. Like, please help us with media. We
Or
need marketing
someone can
help.
do it for you.
No, I'm not.
That's the way. That's the best way to help instead of.
No.
But yeah, I won't go there. I won't
Mm-mm.
go there today. But
Yeah, I just got a little out of
yeah.
hand, but you know what I mean.
But
I have good
But if you don't
intentions.
have anything else, that was the tool of the month. I hope you guys enjoyed that one to be able to apply to your day to day, whether it's on a personal, whether it's business, or whether it's just something you want to take a look at. By all means, do it because social media is always going to be around. I think it's here for the longevity. There's nothing that we can do to erase it. It's here I think once MySpace came into the picture,
Hmm.
maybe even Vine, right?
Good
Those is
times.
when everything started to go a little chaotic, and now we just
Hmm.
have all these different accounts. So if you want to get a handle, or get a hand
It's
on,
true.
or at least a pulse on what's going on with your social media accounts, this is a great way to do that. So until next time, keep on applying those perspective, education, growth, and collaboration.